Here's something that I learned in 30 odd years of running my own business, and that's that we can't be all things to all people, and we shouldn't try. In the early years of my business, I would say yes to pretty well anything that was interesting within my skill set, um, legal, and paid. And I was lucky. I got quite a lot of work through a colleague of mine who was constantly getting inquiries for work that I could do. And she pushed them in my direction with a recommendation and really kept me in as much work as I wanted at that stage. But when she changed jobs, I was in trouble. I didn't have a clear role. I didn't have a clear business. I did a bit of this and a bit of that. And that's certainly a mistake. And it's a mistake that I see lots of people doing when they come to networking. They do their introduction. And most networking organisations give people 60 seconds or so. And quite a lot of people take longer than the 60 seconds if they're allowed to. And they ramble and they waffle. And they sit down having taken more than their allotted time, and we're still none the wiser about what they do. So I think one of the things that we need to do as business owners is to get really clear on who our ideal client is and why they need us, what it is we do for them. And the more niche we can be with that, the easier the message is to explain and for people to understand it. And when people understand, they're in a position to refer us, to recommend us, even to buy from us. So let's think about what that niche might be. Try and make it as narrow as possible. It needs to be narrow, but where there is enough business to give you sufficient work in competition with anybody else in that field. And they need to have a reason to buy from you and a reason that they want to buy from you, not just a need. So some people come along and they say, my target audience is mothers. Yeah, okay. What kind of mother? A mother can be anything from a new mother in her late teens, early 20s, through to a great-grandmother aged in her 90s. They won't have the same needs, or it's highly unlikely that they will. So let's get a little bit more niche. Let's talk about new mothers who are returning to work for the first time. And perhaps we can offer a service that particularly meets their needs. And then they will recognise them. And then we can look at what do they really need? What will they pay for? What can they afford? What's the pain they're suffering? And how do we fix that pain? So let's get really clear about who your ideal client is. And when you're networking, describe that person and the problem that they have or the results that you give from the service that you offer. And then we'll understand. And when we understand, we can refer. So good luck. If you need help, then your network is a good place to start. Because if you ask people in your network to tell you what you do, you might be surprised how hard they find it. And if they find it easy, well done. You've done a good job. But if they find it hard, they may well be able to help you to refine your offer, to ask you the questions that make it easier for you to think clearly, and then to probe a bit more deeply until you've got a really clear offer for a really clear target market. So good luck with refining yours. And do share it. If you've got it nailed, share it in the comments below this video.